23rd and happy Tuesday. I'm so glad that we're back together again. I really enjoyed seeing all of your work yesterday. I'm looking forward to calling some of you individually this week. Mrs. Whalen and I are looking forward to that, to our Zoom call on Friday. Hopefully you're thinking about what item you might want to bring to our show and tell, and we have lots of other fun learning going on this week. So we're going to start out our day with our greeting. We're going to do a bear hug greeting, so you can give yourselves a bear hug, you can give your family a big bear hug, and greet them with a big smile and a good morning. And let's get started with our calendar. Yesterday was the 20th day of April, which means today is the 21st day of April. Yesterday was our 146th day of school, which means today is our 147th. What day of the week was it yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. Yesterday was Monday. If yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday. And if today is Tuesday, tomorrow will be Wednesday. You guys are so good at this. You've got the calendar down. All right. And just a reminder, our sight words this week are out and mom. Out and mom. So we have out and mom. All right. Let's look at our morning message. Good morning, Kinder Crew. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. Can you solve for the difference? So, don't look at these problems just yet. Think to yourself, if we're finding the difference, is that an addition problem where we're joining groups together, or is it a subtraction problem where we're taking away? If we're looking for the difference, addition or subtraction? It's a subtraction problem, so we're going to be taking away. All right, let's go ahead and look at our problems. Our first problem here is 5 minus 2. If you know it, you can shout it out. What's 5 minus 2? And you can also draw it. So I'm starting with 5, so I'm going to draw 5 circles. Minus 2. How many am I taking away? 2. So how many are left? 3. So my difference is 3. All right, let's look at our next problem. If you know it, you can shout it out. 7 minus 1 equals, okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw it. So I'm going to start with 7 circles minus 1. So how many am I taking away? 1. And how many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is left. So my difference is 6. 7 minus 1 equals 6. All right, next problem. 4 minus 3 equals? All right, I'm going to draw it. We're starting with the number 4. So I'm drawing 4 circles. And I'm taking away 3 because it's 4 minus 3. So I'm going to cross out 3. How many do I have left? 1. Just 1. 1 is our difference. 4 minus 3 equals 1. All right, let's look up here. 3 minus 3 equals? All right, let's draw it. 1, 2, 3. And I'm taking away 3. 1, 2, 3. How many are left? 0. 0 is our difference. All right. 6 minus 2 equals? Let's see. All right, we're starting with 6. So that's how many circles I need to draw to start. And I'm taking away 2. 6 minus 2 equals, now I need to write how many are left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 is my difference. And our last problem, 2 minus 1 equals, all right, let's draw it. 1, 2, how many are we taking away? 1. How many are left? 1. Our difference is 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Love Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Whalen. Let's get started on our lessons. For your math review page for number 1, you are going to fill in the bubble next to the picture that shows the object that is lighter than the sneaker shown. So now we're talking about weight. So you're going to look at the sneaker here. Which item here do you think weighs less or is lighter than the shoe? And you're going to pick that letter. For number 2, fill in the bubble next to the number sentence that tells the story in the picture. Okay, you have 2 groups of pigs. Which number sentence here tells the story of joining these 2 groups of pigs? And for number 3, you are going to draw a longer caret below the one that is shown. So you have a caret here. Down here in the blank space, you need to draw a caret that is longer than that caret. Okay, so you're going to be looking at length. You want to draw a caret longer than this caret. Mathematicians, yesterday you learned the sorting rule, which helped you to solve problems by sorting a group of objects. And today we're going to be comparing groups of objects using a real graph. So we're going to take what we learned about the sorting rule and we're going to put them into graphs. So we're going to go ahead and look up here. On the board I have 2 graphs and I also have a group of counters. So I'm going to look at my 2 graphs and see if there's something that I notice. So at the bottom of these 2 graphs, there is a label. So it tells me what I should have in each graph. So over here in this graph, I have a label which tells me what color counters should go in this graph. So again, using that information I know about sorting rule, I'm going to be sorting the counters down here by color into these graphs. And by looking down here at the label, I know that in this graph, I'm going to be sorting the red counters. So I can look down here at these counters and begin to sort them. So then looking over here at this graph, the label here is a yellow counter. So I know that all the counters that are going to go into this graph are going to be yellow. So again, the sorting rule that I'm using is color. So looking over here again at this graph, I'm going to find the red counters and move them into the graph. Okay? Now I'm going to move the yellow counters into the graph. All right, now I'm going to use the graphs that I have and compare them to solve problems and answer questions about them. So the question that I need to answer is which graph has more counters in it? The red counters or the yellow counters? So now I can look at my graph and I can count, or I can just compare by looking at my graph. So let's look and see how many red counters we have. And we don't count the counter down here, that's the label counter. So this one is not in the graph. This one's just telling me what color was going in this graph. So I'm not going to count this counter, but let's count the rest of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 red counters when we sorted them. What about yellow counters? We have 1, 2, 3. So which group has more? The group of red counters or the group of yellow counters? The group of red counters has more. Exactly. So that's what you're going to be doing in math today. You're going to be looking at groups of counters and you're going to be sorting them using the sorting rule into real graphs so that you can use those graphs to compare groups and decide which group has more and which group has less. Readers, today we're going to look again at our story, Puppy Mudge Has a Snack. And you guys did a great job yesterday of answering the comprehension questions based on this story. Did you notice yesterday when we were reading this story that at some parts the author was telling us exactly what Henry was saying? That's called dialogue. And we can tell that there's dialogue in the book by these special signals that are called quotation marks. So I'm going to show you right here, when we are reading a book and we come across dialogue, what we want to do, we want to look for those talking parts where we see quotation marks, and we want to read them like the character is talking. So for example, I love pizza. If you were going to see this in a book and you were going to figure out if this is a dialogue or not, you would see on the ends here, there are quotation marks. So this is a quotation mark and this is a quotation mark. And they're on the outside of this sentence, or at the beginning and the end of the sentence, and that tells me that this is something that a character is saying. And when we come across dialogue, when we see these quotation marks, that's a signal to us as readers that we need to change our reading to make sure that we're reading those lines just like the character would. So we need to change our voices a little bit when we're reading dialogue. So we're gonna go ahead and read through this book again, and I'm gonna make sure to stop wherever I see quotation marks because I'll know that's dialogue and I need to make sure I'm reading it like the character is saying it. So let's go ahead and take a look again at Puppy Mudge Has a Snack. This is Mudge. He is Henry's puppy. Mudge wants Henry's snack. Have you seen any dialogue yet? Thumbs up if you've seen dialogue, thumbs down if we haven't had any dialogue yet. Thumbs down. No quotation marks, so no dialogue yet. No, Mudge, says Henry. Oh, what do you see? There's quotation marks. So around the part where it says, no, Mudge, there are quotation marks. And another hint that I have is after it says that, it says Henry. So that word says is telling me that that is Henry talking. So now I'm going to reread it again using my character voice. No, Mudge, says Henry, especially because I'm looking at the picture and Mudge is jumping on Henry trying to get his snack. So I need to change my voice to fit how I think Henry is sounding because again, it's dialogue. Mudge gets on Henry's lap. No dialogue there. No, Mudge, says Henry. Ding, ding, ding. Dialogue. All right, I'm going to read it again. No, Mudge, says Henry. Mudge wants Henry's snack. Mudge gets on Henry's head. No dialogue there. No, Mudge, says Henry. Oh, there's dialogue. All right. No, Mudge, says Henry. Mudge wants Henry's snack. Mudge drools. Aw, Mudge, says Henry. More dialogue. All right, I'm going to change it. Aw, Mudge, says Henry. Mudge looks cute. Mudge looks very, very cute. Mudge looks too cute. Mudge, you are too cute, says Henry. Oh, there's more dialogue on this page. I'm going to read it again. Mudge, you are too cute, says Henry. Henry gets a snack for Mudge. It is a cracker. Mudge loves crackers. Now Henry has a snack and Mudge has a snack, and all Mudge had to do was be cute. All right, so now when you go back into your own fiction book. So today I want you to read a fiction book of your own. So it can be one that you have at home, one that you find on Epic Books, but I want it to be a book that's in your just right reading level so that you can read it. If a book in your just right reading level does not have any dialogue in it, then you can have mom and dad help you with a different book, and they can help to point out the dialogue, or you can point the dialogue out where you see the quotation marks, and they can help you to read the sentence if you don't have a just right book that has dialogue in it. But your assignment for today is to record yourselves reading one line of dialogue from a fiction book that you've read. So you're going to record yourself reading one line of dialogue, changing your voice to sound like the character. To take the notes we wrote yesterday about pandas and turn them into a book. So I have my book here, and I have my graphic organizer with my facts from about pandas that I found in my 2 nonfiction books yesterday. So I actually added a few more facts when I went through my second book so that I had a lot of research when I went into writing my book. So I'm going to review the facts that I have about pandas. The first section again says what it looks like. So I wrote that they have black and white thick fur and big, flat, strong teeth. And the second thing is what it eats. It eats bamboo, leaves, and sometimes a small plant. Where it lives, China and mountain forests. And other fun facts, very few live in the wild. And I found out in my second book that only around 1,000 of them still live in the wild. So they are very endangered. So those are my facts from my graphic organizer that I'm now going to take into my book. But today, I'm not going to write all of my facts, but I am going to use my graphic organizer to get my book ready for when I'm going to write my facts. So I have here my cover page, and on my cover page, I wrote my title, All About Pandas, because that is what my book is about. And then I wrote my name at the bottom because this book was written and illustrated by me. So I'm going to keep preparing my book so that I'm ready when I do start taking my facts and putting them into the book. So the next page in your book is going to look like this. And this is called the table of contents. The table of contents tells you what information you're going to find in the book and what page you're going to find it on. This helps you to do your research more quickly. So on our table of contents, there's a blank line here next to where it says page 1. And let's look on our animal research sheet. On our animal research sheet, it also has a number 1. And what's next to the number 1? Next to the number 1, it says what it looks like. So that's exactly what I'm going to write for my first line in my table of contents, because that's what's going to be located on page 1. So I'm going to match up the number on my graphic organizer to the page number in my table of contents. So for number 1, I'm going to write what it looks like. All right, number 2. So for page 2, I'm going to look over here on my graphic organizer to number 2, which is what it eats. So that's what I'm going to be writing on page 2 of my booklet. Okay, let's look at for page 3. That's where I'm going to talk about where it lives. And finally, for page 4, that's where I'm going to write my other fun facts. So now anyone who goes to read my book, or if I go back into my book to look for my research, if I just wanted to find out where it lives, I could look on the table of contents and flip to page 3 and find that information. So the table of contents helps you to find the information quickly that you need about whatever topic is in this book. So then what you can do is once you have your 4 headings in the table of contents, you are going to use your table of contents and you are going to fill out each page in your book. So we're going to do that a different day. I'm going to show you how to do that. And for today, you don't need to do anything for writing. You're just going to watch this video. So we're going to continue working with our book tomorrow, and I'm going to show you how to take these titles and how to put them onto the pages in our book. But it's going to look just like we did when we took it from the graphic organizer and put it into our table of contents, because we want to make sure that what's written here matches the numbers that are on our book pages. So we're going to work on that tomorrow when we look at our research books again. Great job on another day of learning kindergarten. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!